instructive debate, and if nothing else, it's giving me the opportunity to go into the content lobby for the first time in my parliamentary career in this House. So I'm normally quite a loyal government backbencher. It has been an interesting debate. I have to say I don't agree with many of the conclusions given by the Minister, that these regulations are proportionate and not over the top. I think they're totally disproportionate and totally over the top. Let me first of all clear up a couple of confusions that have arisen. Firstly, I have no problem with the vast majority of these regulations. All of the regulations relating to regulation of normal tobacco products I completely support. It's only the sections on e-cigarette which I think were wrong. I mean, the clue is in the name. E-cigarettes are not tobacco products. They should not be in this directive in the first place, and I argued this when it was originally proposed in Brussels. But of course, given the nature of regulations, it was not possible to amend it just to take out the electronic cigarette part of it without regretting the whole thing. So in response to those people that have made the points about the main parts of the regulation, I agree, I support them, and as far as I know, all of my colleagues who supported me also support those bits of the regulation. The second, there's a number of arguments have been made about the big tobacco companies. I'm entirely convinced that the big tobacco companies would support these regulations as they are, for the simple reason that at the moment the e-cigarette vaping market is dominated by small and medium-sized enterprises. The costs of regulation that are going to be imposed by this directive are considerable. The big pharmaceutical companies and the big tobacco companies will be able to bear the costs of that regulation. They will buy up, as they are indeed starting to do, a lot of the little companies, and they will be able to bear the costs of regulation. It was a great revelation to me when I first arrived in the European Parliament. I had naively assumed that business would be opposed to a regulation, but actually most big business think regulation is a great thing, as was once described to me by the chairman of a big pharmaceutical company, because it enables them to get rid of what he calls free riders. In other words, the small companies that were taking his market share and but of course did not have big corporate compliance departments, did not have big lobbying and PR operations. So I'm entirely convinced that actually approving these regulations is to the benefit of big pharmaceutical and big tobacco companies. But however, given all of that, and given the indications from many members of this House that they will in fact not support the remainder of my motion, I would like to beg to withdraw the motion.
Is it your Lordship's pleasure that this motion be withdrawn? The motion is by leave withdrawn. Motion, Baroness Walmsley.
My Lords, the bus